What's up, YouTube? You're watching Crypto Shout. My name is Justin, and guys, today I just wanted to bring you a little bit of anti-FUD, some really good information, both from the SkyBridge Capital founder Anthony Scaramucci and also from Cathie Woods, who many of you may already be familiar with. But this article from Bitcoin.com says SkyBridge Capital founder says Bitcoin will easily trade at 500K and urges investors to buy right now. And man, I'll tell you what, when I saw this article, I mean, honestly, when I first read the headline, I was like, well, that actually makes really good sense. But most people have the question, well, when is it going to be 500K? Well, let me just read this article to you and we'll talk about that. So these coins will easily trade at 500K a coin, it says. Anthony Scaramucci, the founder and managing partner of New York City-based investment firm SkyBridge Capital. Let me pause right there, actually, and tell you who Anthony Scaramucci is. He's an American financier who served as a White House Director of Communications from July 21st to July 31st. 2017, Scaramucci worked at Goldman Sachs investment banking, equities, and private wealth management divisions between 1989 and 1996. After leaving Goldman Sachs, he founded Oscar Capital Management, and in 2005, he founded the investment firm SkyBridge Capital. So, very, very successful dude here. All right, so he said he commented on the U.S. economy, inflation, and Bitcoin on CNBC Friday, and Scaramucci briefly served as the White House Director of Communications during the Trump administration in July of 2017. He was asked whether he advises people to buy Bitcoin at the current price of around $64,000, and Scaramucci promptly replied, "No question about that." And guys, to me, I can't agree more. I can't agree more. We have to have the big picture perspective on this thing, and that is why I really like this article, because it reminds us that not to get too upset, with the day-to-day and the week-to-week, and remember where this thing's going long-term. He said, at the current Bitcoin price level, I still believe we are very, very early. He noted that if ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood is correct, and there are 1 billion wallets at the end of 2024 into the middle of 2025, he expects. These coins will easily trade at $500,000 a coin. Remember, you don't even have enough Bitcoin for every millionaire in our society to earn one coin. That's so true. The scarcity is such a huge reason why there's such a big opportunity for anyone who really can start getting in. In September, Wood doubled down on her 500K Bitcoin price prediction. So Cathie Wood is the CEO of ARK Investing, or Capital. I'll do a video about that sometime. But another really awesome financial guru who's done extremely well with Bitcoin over the last several years. But in September, Wood doubled down on her 500K Bitcoin price prediction. If we are right and companies continue to diversify their cash into something like Bitcoin, institutional investors start allocating 5% of their funds into Bitcoin or other crypto, she said, we believe that the price will be tenfold of where it is today, over 500,000. Can't wait. JP Morgan said there are 49 million millionaires based on the US dollar fiat currency. Scaramucci added, you don't even have enough for each millionaire. So for me, I think this is a very scarce property. He further explained that given rising inflation fears, I'm telling people to own a little bit of Bitcoin because that's offering you an adaptive technology that's evolving. And the second thing it's offering you is a potential inflation hedge, he continued. This is a very, very early for people. And I'm trying to do my best to explain to them why they need to own this right now. Absolutely. Again, Anthony Scaramucci, good advice. Good advice. And since we're here, let me go ahead and take you to the Bitcoin price. We'll take a look at that real quick. Today in Bitcoin history, we had a little bit of a correction, a little bit of a dip here. And some of you might be concerned about that, but you really shouldn't be. If you mind the 4-hour candles, the daily candles, and look at the big picture here, you can see that this type of movement fits very well into the prediction pattern that we're anticipating for Bitcoin. So if you zoom into the small levels, though, right here on the 15-minute, you can see that it looks like Bitcoin is finally finding some support right here at 60,000. I think 60,000 is the floor personally. I don't think it's going to bust below that. today, but it could. It very well could, and it could go down into it could even go all the way down to 55, and we'll still be in a safe position to continue this trend line. So we're not falling out of any kind of bullish momentum right now. We're looking good. This is a typical cool off, and it looks like we're already finding support at 60. So I really think that from here we're gonna consolidate a little bit and continue to move along our path. In terms of Ethereum, let's take a look at that real quick. Ethereum has been just on a tear the last month or so, as everyone knows. Improving in 54 days. Ethereum went up 80% in 54 days. So a small correction down to 43 is no BD, and definitely something that shouldn't be unanticipated for Ethereum. It's going to have some cool off moments in its rise to 10K as well. So we have to expect a little bit of consolidation before it continues to push on as well. So that's what's up for Ethereum. Another major piece of news that I thought was pretty fascinating is this article here that says the Federal Reserve governors don't see a reason to issue a central bank digital currency. And to me, this is pretty big, because there's been a lot of speculation over the last couple of years about how central governments are going to respond to the Bitcoin craze, the cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, and whether or not they're going to try and compete with it. I think most people believed that the central banks were going to try and compete with Bitcoin, or at least try and offer a central bank-backed stable coin that would seem to compete with Bitcoin, at least for some portion of the demographic who would fall for that. But of course, there's just been a ton of speculation about what would happen if there was a CBDC. What would happen if the United States had a coin that became the currency that gets pushed on people and gets used for the common currency of the United States or other countries? What if all the countries issue their own digital currencies and outlaw Bitcoin? Things like that. So basically, the question was, is there going to be a competition between governments and cryptocurrency? And that question seems to be getting somewhat readdressed more recently, at least to an extent with this article, where it says that the governors don't see a reason to issue a central bank digital currency. And for me, I think this is good news. Instead, we see political pundits talking about why the capital of the United States should adopt Bitcoin and start adopting cryptocurrency in the Pentagon and to be used by the leadership of our own country. So instead of seeing a sort of a competition, we're kind of seeing some adoption, which is very interesting and surprising to an extent. And it doesn't mean that that's the end all be all and that's what's going to happen. But let me just read this article to you real quick. It says federal governments doubt the need for a digital dollar. Federal Reserve Governor Michelle Bowman said last week that she does not see much of a reason for the Fed to issue a U.S. central bank digital currency given the safety and efficiency of the U.S. payment system. She said, "I'm not really sure that I understand or see the business case for creating it." The Fed is currently putting together a report discussing the pros and cons of issuing a digital dollar. The report is expected to be released soon. I can't wait to see that. Another Federal Reserve governor who is skeptical about the Fed issuing a digital dollar is Randall Quarles. He said on October 20th at a Milken Institute conference that he does not understand the arguments in favor of issuing a central bank digital currency. Quarles, who is set to resign in December, stated, "Until somebody answers me the question why, I don't understand why we would devote the enormous amount of resources and the technological risk and the significant disruption to the current operation of the financial system that would come from the central bank saying that we're going to provide this digital currency." Well, and call me a conspiracy theorist or something if you want, but I think something that these people don't understand, or they probably do understand. Either they do understand and they disagree, and so they're saying this, or they don't understand, and so they're saying it could be either way. It could be naive, which is probably unlikely, or it could be intentional. But what seems to be missing here is the original reason that many people speculated about over the last couple of years for a CBDC, and that would be to compete with Bitcoin, to draw people away from actual decentralized stable coins and other types of crypto, and draw them into something that's centralized yet again and Federal Reserve controlled yet again, or government controlled yet again. That really seems to be what most have speculated would be the reason for a CBDC would be to keep people away from the real global economy and get them pegged to another government CBDC sort of go-between that, once again, we still don't need. No one needs any of that. Anyway, back to the article. Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller also doubts whether the Fed should issue a digital dollar. He explained in October during a discussion hosted by the Official Monetary and Financial Institutions Forum that a digital dollar would put the Fed in direct competition with commercial banks. With the central bank digital currency, you're asking a very direct question. Should the central bank be more involved in processing payments for households and firms in a way that allows them to circumvent the banking system? That is what a CBDC account is doing, Waller said. So you should compete with the banking system or not. In August, the Fed governor noted, I remain skeptical that a Federal Reserve CBDC would solve any major problem confronting the U.S. payment system. I completely agree 100% with these governors on this. I don't know if they have the same motives for agreeing that I do. It's almost irrelevant. The point is, they're saying they don't see a reason for a CBDC in the United States. And honestly, I don't really see one either. What I see a good reason instead to do, I see a good reason for the United States to start onboarding and using some of these amazing technologies that are developing, that are decentralized even, and that are open globally, worldwide at least. They could incorporate so many different aspects of the blockchain and so many different aspects of cryptocurrencies to be used as an investment vehicle for themselves even. I mean, the government itself, a couple of years ago, I speculated that the governments themselves would do their best to buy up as much Bitcoin as they can, just to have more power and more control over this asset class. But whether or not that's ever actually happened, or whether or not it actually is happening in this government, I don't know. But certainly, whether or not our government purchases Bitcoin or whether or not they just incorporate it, it certainly would be good for the global economy, for the local economy, and for the wealth of the nation's citizens. So very glad to see governors disagreeing with CBDCs. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants the government or Facebook or anybody else tricking boomers into buying some bunk stablecoin when the reality is there's a lot better opportunities out there right now for early investors. So like the article said, we're still early. I think 500K Bitcoin is inbound. Of course, not right away, but over the next couple of years. Great time to start investing. It's never too late to get in. Right now is the time. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed my content and you appreciate the updates, then do me a favor and click the subscribe button below and give me a like and comment below what you guys think the future price of Bitcoin will be and whether or not you agree or disagree with CBDCs. Do you think I'm a conspiracy theorist? Do you think the government's buying Bitcoin? Anyway, that's it, guys. Talk to you later. This is Crypto Shout. Peace.